You know that feeling, right? That first cup of coffee in the morning, for so many of us, it's just non-negotiable. But what if the very thing we count on to wake us up is also winding us up? Today, we're digging into the real connection between caffeine and anxiety. Let's get right into it.
Oh, yeah, we have all been there. You were going for productive and focused, but instead you got a racing heart, maybe some jittery hands, and just that buzzing, kind of unfocused feeling. It's that classic, oops, that was one cup too many moment.
If any of that sounds familiar, trust me, you are in good company. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to break down exactly what's happening inside your brain. Look at that super fine line between a simple case of the jitters and an actual disorder, and, most importantly, figure out how we can enjoy our caffeine without all the anxious side effects.
And look, this isn't just a handful of us. A big US survey found that a whopping 85% of the population has at least one caffeinated drink every single day. I mean, think about it. It's the most popular psychoactive substance on the planet. As a drink, it's second only to water. That's huge. So, have you ever wondered what's actually going on up there when you take that first sip? Let's get into the nitty-gritty chemistry of our favorite brew. Okay, first things first. Caffeine is what's known as a central nervous system stimulant. The easiest way to think about it is like this. It's basically hitting the accelerator on your body's internal engine. Its whole job is to just ramp everything up, all that physiological and nervous activity, to make you feel more awake and alert.
So here's the really clever, kind of sneaky trick caffeine plays on your brain. Throughout the day, this chemical called adenosine builds up, and that's what signals to your brain that it's time to get sleepy. But caffeine molecules are like little imposters. They're shaped almost exactly the same, so they slide right into those adenosine receptors and block them off. This not only stops you from feeling tired, but it also lets your brain's own natural stimulants, like dopamine, run wild, giving you that classic focused and alert feeling. And that stimulation is awesome when you need it. But what happens when it goes just a little too far? This is where we start to walk that very fine line between just having the jitters and something that could be a legitimate clinical issue. And this is where things get really tricky. I want you to look at the symptoms of having too much caffeine. You've got nausea, restlessness, a rapid heartbeat. Now look at the classic symptoms of anxiety. Feelings of fear, restlessness, a rapid heartbeat. See the problem? The overlap is just undeniable. Restlessness, check. Rapid heartbeat, double check. This is exactly why a big dose of caffeine can feel almost identical to an anxiety attack, or in some cases, even trigger one. In fact, this connection is so real and so well established that it actually has a name. The official diagnostic manual for mental health professionals, the DSM-5, literally includes a diagnosis called Caffeine-Induced Anxiety Disorder. And that's what's diagnosed when anxiety is a direct result of drinking caffeine and it gets bad enough to mess with your daily life. Okay, so that might sound a little alarming, right? But hold on, this doesn't mean you need to swear off coffee forever. Not at all. The real key here is just moderation and, honestly, understanding your own personal limits. So let's figure out where that safe sipping zone is for most of us. But before we get to the how much is too much part, let's just be really clear about something. Caffeine is not the villain in this story. In the right amounts, a ton of research shows it has some pretty amazing benefits. We're talking improved mental alertness, better concentration, less fatigue, and it can even give you a boost in athletic performance. So what does moderate actually mean in numbers? Well, the general guideline from the FDA for most healthy adults is right around 400 milligrams per day. For most people, staying at or below this amount isn't linked with any dangerous side effects. And just for perspective, the average American actually consumes about 165 milligrams a day. But what does 400 milligrams actually look like when you're ordering at a cafe? Well, it's about 3 to 4 standard 8-ounce cups of coffee. But, and this is a big but, check out the variation here. That same limit could be just 2.5 cans of an energy drink, or more than 6 cups of tea. The big takeaway here is that not all caffeine is created equal, so it really pays to know what you're drinking. All right, so knowing the limit is step 1. Now let's talk about putting that knowledge to work with some smarter, healthier ways to sip. Now, it is crucial to remember that the 400 milligram guideline is definitely not a universal rule. For example, if you already struggle with anxiety or have trouble sleeping or deal with certain heart conditions, your personal limit is probably way lower.
And health experts are getting more and more vocal about the risks for kids and teenagers, especially with how much caffeine is packed into some of those energy drinks.
And hey, if you're listening to all this and thinking, maybe I should cut back a little, the absolute number one piece of advice from everyone is to take it slow. Seriously, quitting cold turkey can unleash some pretty nasty withdrawal symptoms. We're talking killer headaches, exhaustion, and just being super irritable. Tapering off slowly gives your brain and body time to adjust without the shock.
And if you're looking for that morning ritual feeling without the intense buzz, you have got some awesome options. Decaf coffee or a good herbal tea can give you that same warm, comforting vibe. Or you could try a quick walk to get your blood pumping. Even something as simple as a big glass of cold water can be surprisingly effective at waking you up. It's all about having choices.
So, at the end of the day, it really just comes down to asking yourself one simple question. Is my daily cup helping me or is it hurting me? It's all about being mindful, listening to your body, and paying attention to the signals it's sending you. By understanding the science and knowing your own limits, you can make sure that daily ritual stays a helpful boost, not a source of stress. So what does that perfect balance look like for you?